having nearly been killed by the Branca although it was time to come back down to earth with a crash, bang and a wallop. So we're going to do a whiskey. We're going to do a popular whiskey. We're going to do a frequently requested whiskey. We're going to do a whiskey that everyone thinks is the best whiskey in the universe. And because you can read, you already know where I'm going with this. This is Wild Turkey 101. And everyone just shits themselves over this stuff. I've never tried it. I'm like, how good can this possibly fucking be? It's Wild Turkey, it's a well-known brand. Okay, it's cask strength, you know, everyone's into their cask strength stuff. I know I am as well, fair enough. How can it be that good? Now, I want to preface, I've definitely never tried this before. So I'm not like setting up to be like, oh my god, and then I start crying unicorn blood or something. I genuinely don't know what to expect, but I've just heard nothing but like glowing praise for this stuff. So I'm fascinated by it. Whiskey Wednesday in particular, I think this was his Whiskey of the Year last year. Or it was like in contention to be anyway, because he was in love with the stuff, you know? I mean, I've never seen a man more in love, which is sad when you think about it. But yeah, so I'm going to put some in a glass. The mint flavour is fading. Now then, I want to quickly preface, it's maybe not the cleverest idea to have done the fucking mint liqueur. To be fair, I did not know how intense the mint liqueur was going to be. If you haven't seen that video, there'll be a card. I get my head blown off basically by an Italian mint Amaro, so that's fun. I'm going to go fairly heavy with this, because again, I'm going off of other people's recommendations, but I'm reliably told this stuff is the fucking shit. So let's find out what we got. Now, I didn't read up on this because I think I've got about 20 minutes before I lapse into a mint-induced coma. So, time's of the essence, basically. I don't know about chill filtration, I don't know about cask types, I don't know about any of that stuff. But the thing is, people have covered this to death and back, so there's better videos out there than what I'm about to do about this. So you should go and watch one of those after this. Stick with us for the time being. On the news, quite sweet corny. That's what I'm getting first, quite sweet corny. Whipped butter kind of a thing. It's a touch sweet. Mint? No. I want a petrichor in there as well, you know, smell of dust after rain. I think most people owe their knowledge of that word to a particular Doctor Who episode. Quite grassy as well, it's quite a little floral, a little bit like a honeyed presence. It's a hint of caramel, it's reminding me a little bit of the smell of ready salt crisps as well. Or potato chips if you prefer, seeing as we're doing an American product. It's reminding me a little bit of pollen, the smell, something a little pollen-esque about it. Again, it could be that my senses are just completely out of whack, but I wanted to give this a go, so I'm doing it. I make the rules on this channel, and nowhere else. It's a very pleasant nose. It's reminding me a little bit of like some of the corn influence that I got off of like the Mellocorn to a much lesser degree. Because obviously the Mellocorn is quite corn heavy. Clues in the fucking name. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think this is going to be good. So after I've been assaulted by mint, now I get to have my head blown off by a 50.5% liquid, I think this is. Yep, 50.5. Man, my body's been like, God, what are you doing to me? I thought we were okay now. What? Okay, let's give this a go neat. Oh, she's spicy. There's a fair bit of like a molasses, kind of a treacle toffee kind of a thing going on. There's a hint of bitterness, something a touch eucalyptusy, and it's not the menta. It is like it's got this kind of like watery freshness to it. Caramel, sugar snap peas, cinnamon, clove, ground ginger, garam masala, essence of Karamak mixed in with butterscotch. A little bit of like light, like a mellow chili flake as well. There's a bit of heat, but it's not overwhelming. A touch grassy. It's good. It's good. It is not knocking my socks off so far. I want to quickly say that. It is not blown me away. But it's certainly very competent. It's very clearly good. Let's pop a little bit of water in it. A touch more, because it's quite hot. Maybe I'm just a bit green when it comes to bourbons. It's entirely possible. Not everyone's going to have the same palate, the same preferences. No, everyone's going to have the same experience with particular spirits. Bourbons are ones that I've sort of overlooked a little bit, and I don't really know why, other than I just have. I've not had particularly bad experiences with bourbons. I seem to remember American whiskey being a category that overall I've quite enjoyed. I just haven't delved enough into it. And that's on me. Hot cross buns. Freshly buttered, toasted hot cross buns. Well, to be more accurate, toasted tea cakes. There was a tea room that my nanny used to take me to, and I'd always get a toasted tea cake. I think it's a pie shop now. It was a fish and chip shop for a while, and then there was the explosion. It's been all sorts, that place. There's wonderful buttery elements to it. It's very subtle and light. Something brioche about it as well. There's lots of bread and butter going on. There are various breads, various butters. There's a touch of sultana in there. Fig, apples, actually, I'm getting a fair bit of apple. Oats as well. It's a touch creamy, it's a touch citrusy. There's a little bit of spice, but it's quite subdued. I almost want to say cinnamon. There's like a sweet cinnamon kick to it. It's opened up quite a bit in terms of like aromas, but you also get the feeling that it's calmed down at the same time. Let's see what we're dealing with here. There it is. Okay, I get it. I get it. Alright, cool. There's a beautiful oak presence. Duh. It's a little tannic. Kind of like a good dry red wine. There is a little bit of like a toasted bread influence to it as well. There's sugars in fairly cheap white bread, that kind of a thing. There is a hint of eucalyptus. There is a little bit of kind of like, sort of like a digestive biscuit kind of an element. There's a touch of caramel. There's a little bit of cinnamon, a touch of nutmeg in there as well, sort of a Christmas spice kind of an element. There's plenty of like a good, rich vanilla flavour to it. There's a little bit of like a sweet corn element to it. There's this unusual bitterness going through it all the way. Kind of like a cola nut and almost like paracetamol kind of a bitterness. It's like a sharp, medicinal, almost unwelcome bitterness, but it's so subdued. It just kind of adds like a back note to all the kind of sweet, rich flavours that you've got, so they don't go overboard. Which is, it's bizarre, but it's interesting. It's like a guardrail at the other end of a bridge or something. I don't know where the fuck that was going, but yeah, it's in the distance. It just kind of, it's there if you need it. I still don't know where I was going with that. Custard cream mixed in with brandy. Boozy sherry trifle kind of elements. There's a little bit of red fruit in there. There's gooseberry. There's loads of just dairy components. Custard, butter, all those kind of things it's reminding me of. A little bit of clotted cream in there as well. There's something like quite fresh but fatty about it. It does have some plant-like qualities to it. There's a hint of courgette in there I'm getting, like a watery, mellow, subdued kind of a vegetal flavour. It's sweet, a touch savoury, a little bit of acid in there as well. It's balanced. The corn element is still present. It has that as like a backdrop. And then it goes into kind of like the richer, spicy kind of notes. There's a touch of it's like a slightly bitter tang to it, like an underripe peach or something. There's a lot happening. I think what wows a lot of people about this is that it's very affordable for what you're getting. It's sort of the Cutty Sark Prohibition of America. Cutty Sark Prohibition being another whiskey that I have not tried, but it's got a similar kind of like a stardom when it comes to, oh, this is pretty much cheap as chips and it will blow your fucking face off. I mean, I've polished it off, and I think that tells you everything you need to know, really. It's a good whiskey. My scores will be down in the hoobly hoop down below. I hope my tasting notes were helpful. How much have I been influenced by the mint liqueur? God only knows, although I did still thoroughly enjoy it. So, I get it. I absolutely get it. I get the hype. Did it absolutely blow my mind? No. Did I enjoy it? Yeah. Comment down below, what is your take on Wild Turkey 101? Should I be trying more American whiskey? Thumb the video if you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to see more content like this, I have a back library going back about 4 years. And make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'll be publishing them as regularly as my real life will allow. For now though, thank you very much for watching, and do join me next time where I'll be drinking something else.